George Kilpatrick, inspiration for the nation. How can you get paid? We all want to know how to get paid. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about getting paid. We're also going to talk to you about what companies are looking for. And yes, if you are listening to me right now and you're looking to diversify your workforce, well, this brother has some tips for you as well. So we're pleased to be joined by Torrin Ellis. Call him a human capital strategist, right?
All day long.
I love that.
All day long.
All right, so like a human capital strategist, basically, he's looking for bodies to place them strategically so that both you and he can get paid. That's what we're talking about here. So, Torrin, talk to me about that. I mean, what does it mean for you to be out here looking for and acquiring talent?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank you for providing me with a platform, trusting my voice, sharing it with your audience, and doing such in the most festive month of the year. So absolute appreciation for you and for the time today. What that simply means is that I am focused heavily on making sure that I properly align, prepare talent for the opportunities. I tend to recruit individuals in the sales leadership, and technical space for high-performing, high-growth, high-impact organizations. And it tends to be, for me, compensation for those individuals ranging somewhere from $150,000 to $500,000 per year. Those are the individuals that I normally am working to place, because those are the individuals my clients are asking me to find for them. Does that make sense?
It certainly does make sense. And so what are they looking for? I mean, obviously sales and sales professionals, tech professionals, what are they looking for right now?
So they're looking for individuals that bring a high degree of acumen. They bring agility to the equation. They're looking for proven performers. One of the things that I always share with my candidates that are sales and sales professionals, I actually share this with anyone who is interviewing, is to try to make sure that your resume has some numbers, reflects numbers, because numbers identify, highlight productivity. It highlights results. And so my clients tend to want me to prove to them that if this person says that they were a super successful sales professional, or that they were a sales standout of a leader, of a VP in the C-suite, they want me to be able to justify that. They want me to be able to show them proof of that. And so that's what they're looking for. But what I would say to you, George, and to those that are listening, real clients with real opportunities are looking for people who have proven that they can do what they say they can do.
Yeah. So you basically put up a shut up, back up, you might talk a good game, but show me the money.
I think it's only fair. If you want an individual to compensate you and you use the position of fair market value, then I think that you should be able to show that you were successful in your previous role, and that you deserve more responsibility, more visibility. You deserve more resources to support you in the endeavor in which you are aligned. Absolutely.
Torrin Ellis, he's a human capital strategist, basically recruiter. I mean, he's looking for people. He's looking for people all the time, and you might be somebody that might be able to get into his stable. But let's talk about the rest of us who may or may not be sales professionals and high-tech people. You got this thing, Rip the Resume, which I love, right? And the idea is that we've got to be prepared. It's okay.
So one of the things that I think is extremely important for individuals is there are a number of companies, tech companies, in my space, just so that people know. It's called HR technology. And so we, on this side of the equation, are using things like applicant tracking systems. We are using client relationship management pieces. We are using marketing automation software. So these are some of the things that are happening perhaps on our side that the candidate may not necessarily know is a part of their job search process. What I think is extremely important is there are several HR tech companies that are trying to kill the resume. They are trying to decimate, to do away with the resume, to force companies to lean on social media footprints and other digital footprints to identify, to evaluate, to even make decisions upon one's candidacy. And so what I would say to people, if we were closing the year out, I would absolutely say that your social media image must be professional. Take the picture with you at the family function, the holiday party, the summer cookout, washing the vehicle, maybe that picture of you being in the office elevator. Take that picture down and go to a professional photographer, have one of the college students do it, but put up a professional photo. It doesn't mean that it needs to be sterile and sanitized and boring, but put up a professional-looking photo. That's number one. Number one, very, very simple. Number two, I would evaluate the quality of your resume paper. Because resumes are being scanned into applicant tracking systems and they're utilizing, or shall I say, using keywords to parse whether or not a person is qualified for consideration or not, you need to make sure that your resume has the proper keywords in it. I do not subscribe to the philosophy of having multiple resumes. I would never tell a person to do that. But what I do tell candidates is that you need to have a very strong and powerful resume.
Well, wait, I got to stop you right.
I'm sorry.
I got to push back on that because everyone says, Torrin, that you should have a resume tailored specifically to the position that you're applying for. So you're telling, and so. But I'm also hearing you say when you're on a site like a Monster or something like that, and you got or you're scanning into a job thing. Help me out here because that's what everyone says. Not one standard resume, but a resume for each position. You're pushing back against that?
And everyone also says that recruiters only look at a resume for 6 seconds. I think that that's hogwash. What I'm saying to you, George, is that I am not a person who's an advocate of George Kilpatrick having 5 different resumes. Here's the reason why. Using what you do right now as a basis, you are an awesome and an excellent interviewer with a radio program. For the most part, anything that you do is going to be in the media space. That's pretty much where you're going to be. The chances of you leaving the radio station and trying to go become a doctor or an accountant or someone in logistics, that's probably not the way that it's going to be. And so what I say with candidates, you tend to have a pattern of the types of roles that you are going for. If you are going for the 3 different varied roles that I just mentioned, then you probably don't have a good resume. That's a problem in and of itself. But if you are a consistent individual that is actually building a career, there is no need for you to have various resumes. You might go in and take out a word here, put in a word there, but for you to have a totally different, redone resume, if you're doing that, then you're not doing the right job, sir.
Well, then let me add another thing, Torrin, because some of the things that you're doing, like in other words, you might play in different spaces. So you might have a resume for this space that you play in, and you might have a resume for that space that you play in. Just this is real life that people are dealing with.
It is real. Yeah, it's real life, George. I didn't mean to cut you off. It's real life.
Right.
But if I take it the way that you said it,
right,
it's more of a consultant, and I'm not actually looking for a W-2 based job. If you are a person who's playing in multiple spaces, I get it. So you're an artist one day and you like to take photographs another day and you can do coffee because you're a barista,
right?
Then fine, you are more of a consultant. Then you may have various resumes because you're only spending 5-10 hours a week in any one discipline. But for an individual who is looking for a 40-hour per week job, it is very, very hard for them to say that I want to play in 3 different sandboxes throughout the course of the month, and I want to do that for the entire year. That it doesn't work that way. So, and even myself as a consultant, I do recruitment, I do career development boot camps, I do diversity strategic planning with my clients, but I have one resume. I am a human capital strategist, period. That's who I am.
TorrinEllis.com, the human capital strategist, is going to help us to do all of that. George Kilpatrick, Inspiration for the Nation. Torrin, always a pleasure, man. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you, good brother.
Inspiration for the Nation.